Hi, I'm Cheryl Morales of the Newport News Tourism Office, and welcome to What's New in Newport News. Today's show is about the Virginia Living Museum's newest exhibit, American Adventure. And here with us to explain this 3D sort of type of game is Bo Baker and Judy Triska. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, Judy, American Adventure takes you back like over 400 years ago when the settlers first came here and landed on the shores of Virginia. And with this exhibit, you actually become one of those settlers, right?
Absolutely. It is an indoor maze, open now through April the 21st. You enter the maze and you receive one of these life charts, and I'm going to hand you this one. You're John Smith.
Oh, thank you.
And
I feel honored.
With that life chart, you're able to enter the maze and go through 4 seasons of a year where you have to make decisions, life and death decisions on how to survive. And through this chart, you're able to move points on health, food, wealth, and morale.
And that's the questions that are kind of associated with it?
You either add or subtract points through every challenge that you receive. And it's, if it falls in the red zone, I'm sorry, you got to start over. You exit the maze and you can start over again.
Okay, okay. I see. So you actually start at a level, and it would depend upon, I would imagine, if you were an officer, your health would have been a little bit better than a laborer. Your morale would have been better, but in the sense of health, probably all around, right?
And these are all actual individuals that were, through history, or documented to have, of the 104 that originally came, 38 only survived. So these are all those individuals, and you take on that persona.
So you take on that individual, you go around to the exhibit itself, answer these questions, and find out if you actually survive or not. And then at the very end, you can actually see if your person survived.
Absolutely. There's a graphic at the end where you can actually look up your individual, and you can find out if you lived or survived, and when you did die, if you did pass.
Wow. Well, tell me, have you been through the maze?
I have.
Okay,
I have.
And your experience?
And I must say I did a little bit better because I had a little bit of help, and I really took my time. But we really encourage you, bring your family, come and work through it together.
Okay, now if you wear it around your neck,
Good job, Arella.
you can see it, okay?
That all your carpenters and other such like workmen about building to do first in storehouse. I don't want to lose points. Oh, come on. Let's.
Therefore trust us to come into our forts. Others again of them are so bold and audacious as they dare come into our forts and trade with us.
It is such a great learning experience. It is history come alive, and by taking on that role you learn so much. What water should I drink? The decisions to make that were life and death. You get to climb a rock climbing wall, you get to travel on a zip line, you get to lasso a sturgeon. So there's some physical challenges as well, but also some where you just have to use your brain and think what would be the best decision.
Wow, that was interesting. It was just really fun, and like it's just neat to go around and basically have social studies class, but have it interactive. And I'll definitely come here and like took the path I did to get to that awesome zip line and the rock climbing wall. But it was just like interactive, fun, and educational at all at the same time. And looks like I survived. Yay.
Well, that's what I love about the description that you all had for this exhibit. You said better than a video game and better than reading facts, right?
Yes, it's working through history and making it entertaining. So, you know, like you normally think about in school, when we were in school, we open up chapter 3, start reading. But this, you walk through it and you experience it. You experience what they had to do to survive.
And using all your senses.
Yes.
Which I love, because usually other exhibits that are out there that you can learn, you know, that is different, they usually just have the visual or the hearing or the touch. And you're surprised and you're happy with that, but you also go into the smell.
Yes. There's a whole area of these little bottles that you squeeze and you put your nose to, and you have to figure out whether it's sassafras, bayberry, musk from a beaver. So there are some interesting odors that you have to determine.
Right, I'm sure. Oh, I can see the kids going at it of all ages. Yes. This is a great timing, too, because of Jamestown and their year-long commemoration that they're having. But it's time to boast, too, because the Virginia Living Museum had a lot to do with this exhibit when it first came out, right?
Absolutely. In 2007, we co-developed with Minotaur Mazes out of Seattle, Washington, what was then known as Survivor Jamestown, and many of you may have remembered that. This is that same exhibit, but it's been rebranded as American Adventure. And all these years it has been traveling, it's been incredibly successful, and we were part of developing that, and it has won national awards.
You should be very proud of that.
We are.
And not just the idea of co-creating an exhibit, but then to have it go travel too, so that other people can experience it and learn. That's a really great thought too.
And no better place for it to be back home. Where
there
it
you
all
go,
started,
right,
so.
where it all started. We touched a little bit about how it is having all the sensors, immersed in this exhibit.
Yes.
There's a lot of other kind of activities, too, that are incorporated with it. So
Yes.
there's an audio tour, for example.
Yep.
Start us off with that.
The audio tour, you hook it into your phone, where the kids know how to do that a lot better
I know,
than
right?
we do.
I know.
But as you go through the museum, the audio tour helps you explain how things relate to the maze and Jamestown. So you can go by and you do the maze, and then okay, you lasso a sturgeon, okay, but have you ever seen a sturgeon? So you walk down into the Piedmont Gallery, and then we have a live sturgeon swimming
Your
around.
permanent gallery that is there.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I get the connection now. That's great.
So you can experience, besides just the maze, you can experience the museum by looking at the animals and other things we have there to show.
And you brought a special guest with you, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
While we're getting ready for that, there is also other programs related to this, the Jamestown Animal Mystery.
Yeah, we'll have
and
animal
skies.
shows. The museum all surrounds this. This maze is in our changing exhibit gallery, but we have the rest of the amazing museum indoor-outdoor exhibits that are all tied into things. So we try to, in every way, connect and carry the theme of American adventure throughout the entire
I
museum.
love it.
and
That's
everything we do.
great. Hi there. Oh my. Okay. Tell me he's please.
She is
She.
de-scented, de-sprayed.
De-sprayed.
We can't really take the smell off them, but we can prevent her from spraying, which that's more important.
Yes, it is.
So this is our striped skunk. And you notice that she really doesn't have the complete white stripe.
Right.
So I tell the kids, I said, we cannot make fun of her, we can't laugh at her, but skunks have stripes of different lengths. We have another skunk at the museum that has a full white stripe, and we have another one that just has a little white on its head, white on the tail.
Okay.
So their stripe is their fingerprint. That's how
But
we
all
come
the
up with it.
same variety.
Yes, they're all striped skunks.
Striped skunks.
So,
Okay.
This one's quite large. This is about as big as they're going to get. They're normally a little bit smaller than this. And this one is very quiet and calm. She was a rescue. She was injured, and she had to have a lot of rehab. So she had a lot of TLC from people. So she's learned to kind of hopefully relate to us as being kind and maybe giving her food and things like that.
I see.
The important
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, right, to survive, right. Speaking of important things to survive,
Yes.
I hear there's a really cute story with regards to Jamestown.
Yes,
and
this
the
is
settlers.
one of the unusual animals. There's no skunks in England or Europe, or they're only in the Americas.
Wow.
So think about it, you're a settler. You're coming over and you're hungry. You're tired. You're cold. And you see this animal, and it's kind of big. It looks furry, and you're going to think about eating it. So you don't want to waste your gunpowder. So you're just going to sneak up on it with a club and just kind of clunk it over the head.
Okay.
And you're in for a surprise.
Oh, yes, you are.
So you get within 5-6 feet, the animal swings around, the tail goes up, and you're getting sprayed.
For the first time, and they've never
Yes.
experienced or heard of this situation ever.
Yeah, and it's, for smell quality, most people say it's in the top 1 to 2 bad smells in the world.
In the world.
Yes,
Yeah.
so they have experienced one of the worst smells around for the first time.
Right.
Now,
And no tomato juice.
no
Yeah,
tomato
right?
juice. They would just basically had to just soak their clothes. They might even boil them in water. That could
yeah,
have helped. But
right.
the Native Americans, they prized the animal for food and for the pelt. So it was a prized animal for them. Once the English got used to this animal, they probably realized that it was a nice pelt to have. You could trade, and that if you feel that is some really thick.
Oh, yeah.
That would keep you warm.
Oh, absolutely. Yes,
So.
yes. Thank you so much, Mello. So when does the exhibit end? And is there an additional cost to see all this?
Well, like many of our traveling exhibits, they are included in the museum admission, so that's great news. And it will stay open until April the 21st.
Great.
And we just ask you to bring out your family. This is great for kids to learn. Really, really great resource. And we've had great response so far. Families are enjoying taking the journey together through the maze. They really are.
And what a great backdrop, too, for your own special event.
Oh, the facility itself, indoors, outdoors. We have an outdoor amphitheater, indoors. It is the destination for a wedding, a group meeting, a corporate meeting, school proms. We become quite the destination to come and have your event. So we do rent out the facility, and there's more information on that on our website on thevlm.org. So a lot of great things you can do.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Even the latest, which was a gender reveal through our Chesapeake Bay tank, where actually our scuba divers were able to do a gender reveal. So there's all sorts of great ideas and neat
I heard
happenings.
about that on your Facebook actually page, where the scuba diver held a blue balloon and a pink balloon,
Yeah,
right?
had a sign and said it's a boy.
And is that what it was? It
Yes.
ended up being a boy. Yes, that's right. Oh, that's great. So very unique, to the very traditional.
Absolutely.
It can be done at the Virginia Living Museum, and I know your crew there they are creative with their corporate board meetings that are held there, having some break times, bring in an animal,
Absolutely.
just to.
We will cater it to specifically what your group needs, and we do business in the evenings as well when we bring in these groups. So check out the website.
Well, is there anything else that we might have missed?
Well, we have Animal Show on Saturday. So if you want to see one of our skunks, we can't promise you're going to see Mello, but we have another one, Penelope. And then I won't tell the other surprise animal, but we have a very unusual animal that was foreign to the English. It was this little animal that we might know of, but we never get to see even living here. So.
Oh,
Hopefully
interesting. So we
nice
got to check
surprise,
out on
people.
Saturdays. Yes. Outside is a whole nother world with the Virginia Living Museum. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, for 52 years we've been here. We have indoor, outdoor exhibits of all animals that are native to Virginia. We tell people that in a 2-hour visit you could see more animals in those 2 hours than you would see in your lifetime living in Virginia. Bobcat, otters, of course, are our famous otters, raccoon, beaver, a variety of birds, moray eels, all sorts of fishes, reptiles, alligators. It's just amazing that we have so much in one place and that we can use that to educate folks. How many of us can say we've actually seen a bobcat? So.
Oh, absolutely, yes. And I love it because you're right. It is really focusing from one end of Virginia, ocean, swamp, to the mountains.
Well, we say the mountains to the sea, sure.
Oh, there you go. So opposite the mountains to the sea,
Yeah.
you can see it all,
You can.
by experiencing your museum. I love it. It's one of my favorites here in Newport News.
Oh, thank you.
Well, thank you guys for being with us today and so telling us all about this great exhibit of yours. And thank you for joining us. I hope you have an opportunity to brave the maze and see if you can survive American adventure. For more information about this and all the other great things to see and do in Newport News, check out our website at newport-news.org. Thanks again.